Hey, this is me, Marvin Lee, and I just finished watching another episode of Weird Homes, which I really like because I kind of feel like it encourages me to be creative, and it's always great to see other people who kind of on like that different wavelength, and just think differently, and it's very encouraging to see that because sometimes when you're a creative person, especially when you're super creative, and like you just do like all these really random things, you have like a lot of varied interests and whatnot, you can feel kind of alone because most people just don't really think like you think. And that's no problem, we're all different and whatnot. But sometimes we just really that different. It can get kind of lonely. And so it's kind of cool to kind of see people like, okay, they're going, and all these people are like, advanced in age, and so it isn't like, they're super young or anything like that. They're, these are people who would normally be considered not in the prime of their lives anymore. They're like, these people are like older, 50 and over, and pretty much the world would consider them as, okay, look, they've done whatever they're going to do at this point in time, and they're not going to do much more. And I think there's a lot of ageism, and I think a lot of it's taught to us, just, belief that once you reach a certain age, like you're useless to the world, and, once you can't, do quote-unquote work, there's nothing that you have to offer society. And I think that's not true. When I see Weird Homes, it gives me inspiration. I want to be in my 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and still be putting out good work, and I think that's great. And I don't think you have to be super young to make things happen in this world or to contribute something to the world, because I think there's always going to be an audience for people who are putting out some kind of quality work. As long as you're putting out some kind of quality work, there's always going to be an audience for that, I feel. And Weird Homes just kind of shows that people are going to these houses and they're visiting, and they're bringing things to help people help contribute to the idea and the upkeep and whatnot. And it's very motivating. And this particular episode was 3 homes, as it typically is 3 homes. One was a lady who had a grocery store that was kind of special, and then her husband got killed in the grocery store. And then she was a widow for about 5 years, and she met another man, and he married her, and then he turned the store into like this big grand palace thing, and now it draw all this attention, got on Weird Homes, and she doesn't actually do it, she just owns that house, but her new husband just decorate everything, just make everything, just kind of shine, and just, whatnot. That was kind of cool, and she's very. And and also I guess there's a church there too, and like this refurbished bus, and you seem like just very down home, good, nice people, who generally care about, the world they're in and about each other, and that's great, and then something my mom probably would love, because they were like singing like go, religious songs and whatnot. That's like right up her alley. And then then in another case, there was this dude who, like, I guess he had like a whole bunch of different businesses and stuff. He actually lived in this really big house with like 26 rooms and stuff like that. And then he bought this other house because it was only something smaller. And then he didn't like all the white paint inside on the walls. So he just started decorating. And before you know it, he kind of created like this little, organized clutter, as you like to call it, just with all these different things from India and all these different cultures and whatnot. And people coming and visit, they like it. And he actually mentioned about how he had at one time 14 businesses. It just became too much because it was always like, things going on, and he couldn't do it all. Very stressful, I would assume. He's like, it doesn't make sense for me to have all these businesses, and it's just such a hassle, now. And so he just shut it all down and just dedicated his time to the one thing. And once he started doing that thing, he kind of realized that he liked doing this and put more hours into this naturally, more than what he put into his own businesses. That he had 14 businesses running, and he didn't have that drive like he has to decorate and fill up his house with all these kind of like random things. And then there was this other dude, I think he was in Canada because he kept saying A and stuff, or it could have just been, north, like really up north. USA. So, and he just like, crazy little things in his yard and whatnot. And he kind of said a few things that kind of just really clicked with me about how, one thing he said was that a man who gets up and wants to do something and goes for it and does it is better than the man that just lays there. His worth is just so much more because he's contributing, he's doing something, he's, moving forward, he's putting energy out and the energy comes back to you, what you put out. It really does. And so that was kind of contributing, or kind of cool to hear him say that. He said a few other things I was kind of like, okay, I click with that, and very motivating. It makes you want to get up and work and just do better, and just be a better person. And so that dude, the Indian collection guy, organized clutter guy, and the woman and her husband. And so I had another thing too about religion, and I believe there is something bigger than us, obviously. I don't think we're the end all be all, so it's kind of hard for me to think, as an atheist or anything like that. I think it's convenient sometimes, just my opinion, to be one, because, like, just don't believe in anything, just us, just all there is, it's just us. I don't think it's just that simple, but I also don't believe that I have to, like, carry around religion like this giant fashion statement, and I, like, everywhere I go, I gotta, like, preach it down people's throat and all this kind of stuff. I believe in a happy medium, which is, you have your faith, and I feel like you should, through your actions, should be speaking louder than your words. I mean, you can say words, and that's great when the time is appropriate, but you don't need to always be, like, hounding down everyone about your religion, because, I mean, there's, like, how many religions in the world? And if everybody's hounding down everybody's religion down everybody's throat, it becomes a bit much, kind of overwhelming. And so I think we should respect each other's religious choices and do things that will not bring harm or to other people. I believe in that. And so, and I really believe in the human spirit more than probably anything, because I feel like that's that thing inside you just kind of gives you that little spark, and without just, you just really aren't anyone, and so I strongly believe in the human spirit, and, and just the, good things like, honesty and reliability and, trust, and these are things I still have to work on myself, but I believe in those kind of like basic core things that just kind of makes you, and I believe everyone has it, and I believe, you're either going to be doing things that are going to be, improve it and make it better, or you're going to do things that are going to be detrimental to it. And so, you always have that choice, it's going to be a heaven or a hell for you, and kind of like having the hell on earth, you really kind of decide where you want to be by the decisions that you make. And so, that was kind of cool, and I really enjoyed the show. Again, it's very motivational, very inspirational to someone who is artistic like I am, to see people out there, maybe not doing exactly what I do, musically, but they're putting ideas out into the world, and they're making things happen, and you can see the fruits of the labor very clearly, and, it's very motivating. So this is me, Marvin. I'm done.